Hey everybody, welcome to Wild About Houston. I'm your host, Lara Bell. Coming up on today's show, we're taking you to one of the oldest movie houses in Houston. Plus, we're giving away dinner for two to Houston's hottest new seafood restaurant. And Jen Glenn's giving us some gardening tips on this edition of Wild About Houston. Hi, I'm Lara, wife to a terrific husband and mother to a beautiful little girl. My friends and I love Houston with all of its great restaurants, boutiques, sporting events, and local attractions. There's something for every woman in every walk of life. So join us as we explore everything Houston has to offer, and you'll see why we're Wild About Houston. It's funny. Hey everybody, I'm sitting here with Jen Glenn and Lauren Lanning, and how are you girls?
How are y'all?
Okay, well, let me tell the viewers something.
Okay.
One of us sitting right here is expecting Jen!
You did that. You got together.
Goodness, you didn't tell us.
What am I
somebody-
expecting exactly?
A baby?
Am I expecting a dog?
No, a baby.
A bunny?
Baby? No, everybody, we're
No.
just totally joking.
It's Lara.
Yeah, Lara.
I can do this.
Two is enough. It's Lauren. It's me.
Yes. Congratulations, girlfriend.
Are you excited?
I'm totally excited.
Congratulations.
Yes.
That's exciting. Okay, a little bit later, you're going to be talking about some gardening stuff.
Yes, I am.
What
Give
kind of
y'all
gardening?
something to do called Earth Kind Gardening.
So it's good for you.
Yes, it's very well. It's
Okay.
good for the earth.
For the earth.
Yes, it's good for the earth. It's very kind to the earth.
Oh, that's
Called
good.
Earth Kind
Also,
Gardening.
we're going to be giving away dinner for two at this new great restaurant called Ocean Air. It is.
Where's that?
It's at the Galleria. It's delicious.
Okay.
Oh,
And
it is
what kind
so
of food
good.
is it? Is it
Seafood.
Seafood.
I mean, fresh seafood. So you guys
It's
got to
so
watch
good.
because we're going to be giving away a gift certificate in just a little bit. But now I want to talk about. I always say that had I not been in television or producing or anything like that, I would have been a history teacher. A month ago or so, we did a story with Story Sloan, who on all that historic
Yeah,
buildings.
all the
Right.
pictures
I
from
remember that.
downtown.
Well, I found an old movie theater in the
Okay.
city. So anyways, this building is just incredible. Take a look. Okay, if you would really like to see something historically incredible and beautiful, with me is Gary Warwick. He is the owner of Majestic Metro. This place is absolutely gorgeous. How long has this place been here?
Well, the Majestic Metro was opened in 1990.
Okay.
We acquired the property in 1985. It took a while to figure out what to do with it.
Because it's so ornate and just so gorgeous. Now, the building, though, has been here since when?
1926, and it was originally opened as the Ritz Theater, which was 1926 was back when there were silent movies. So if you think back at that time, this theater had a theater organ and an organist, and you would have watched Charlie Chaplin with pipe organ music.
It is so incredibly just gorgeous. So over the years, has it always been a movie theater then?
It was always a movie theater. It transitioned as the really huge movie palaces opened on Main Street. There was one or two prior to this theater, and then several built right after this theater. So theaters of this size and this nature then became the equivalent of today's Dollar House.
Okay.
Which meant back in those days you would see cowboy movies for 25 cents.
So that's what this place became.
For a lot of its time, during mostly the 30s and the 40s.
Okay, so you say that this place opened in the 20s and it was silent movies. Was this the first movie theater in Houston?
No, by no means.
Okay.
There were a number of theaters prior to this, and several were built after this.
But not like this, I doubt.
Well, the claim to fame here is it's the only one surviving.
It is, and thank goodness. And that's where you guys stepped in, because this is such a huge part of Houston's history. You guys stepped in, saved the building.
Well, what was interesting was at the time that this building became available, I was in the business of actually doing demolition work and creating spaces for skyscrapers. And when I came into this building, I didn't realize, I knew it was an old building, but I didn't realize it was a theater. And once I got in and I poked around and I was able to turn lights on and discover what it was really pretty neat.
And you were like, there's no way I can
Well,
tear this building
it was
down.
half torn down already just from neglect.
Yeah.
But, we decided that it was something worth saving because literally every theater in Houston had been demolished at that time.
Okay, now this isn't used for a theater anymore.
No, it's a special event facility.
Which is great, because then you could just do parties here, corporate, private, weddings, or whatever.
We do tons of wedding receptions, we do ceremonies with wedding receptions, and we do lots and lots of corporate events.
When you walk through the doors, what just takes your breath away about this place?
Well, I think it's the architecture. There's been books written about movie palaces, and the architecture is is extremely elegant. It's a lot like churches. In fact, the architect for this building was a gentleman named William Ward Watkin. And if you Google him in, you'll find out that he came down from Boston. He was the overseeing architect for Rice University.
Wow.
And after he completed Rice for this firm out of Boston, they were so impressed with him that they asked him to stay on and become the first dean of architecture at Rice University.
Serious?
Now, he went on to design a lot of famous buildings, including the Museum of Fine Arts. And he did a lot of church architecture. And there's a lot of similarities between church architecture and theater architecture. And he even wrote a book to that degree.
Thank you so much.
My
for
pleasure.
letting us tour
Thank
your
you for
facility
coming in
today.
and looking at a piece of Houston history.
Now, what's your website?
www.majesticmetro.com.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And up next, we're giving away dinner to Houston's hottest seafood restaurant, what book everyone's talking about and why, and Jan Glenn shows us some earth-kind gardening, so don't go away. Well, Houstonians love their seafood, and there's a great restaurant in town. They haven't been here that long. I am here at Ocean Air, and I'm with the executive chef, Trevor White. How are you?
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm doing fantastic. Now, rumor has it that you guys have the freshest seafood in the city. Is that true?
Absolutely. We actually pride ourselves on ultra fresh seafood. So basically, all of our fish is within 2 days out of the water.
So that is fresh.
Absolutely.
That's very fresh.
Definitely.
Okay, so what are you going to show the folks to make today?
Today we're going to be doing our blackened mahi. It's a black and blue. It's kind of play on words. We're actually doing a blackened piece of mahi.
Okay.
And that's going to be topped off with a point raised blue cheese butter. Underneath that's going to be our sweet onion confit. Okay, we're going to start out with the sweet onion confit.
Okay.
We have about 2 large white sweet onions. We're going to place in a little clarified butter into the saute pan.
Okay.
And over medium-low heat. So we get everything all coated in there. Then we're going to move over here. We're going to season this. This is actually a ultra-fresh 10-ounce piece of mahi. This came in this morning, actually. And all we're going to do, really, is it's just a basic blackening spice. And basically, we're just going to only season one side of it because it is very, very strong.
Okay.
I'm going to reach over here. We're just going to brush it just a little bit of clarified butter.
Now, you use the clarified butter on everything, don't you?
Pretty close to it, yeah.
Okay.
We're just going to place it right on the hot grill.
Okay, and what should you cook this at? What temperature?
Usually medium to medium high heat on the grill.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to move over here. We're going to try the blue cheese butter. We've already made it. You can do this in a stainless steel bowl. Right here we have about a cup of Point Reyes blue cheese. Point Reyes is being out of just north of San Francisco.
Okay.
Point Reyes right up the coastline of Mill Valley. It's one of my favorite blue cheese. Very, very mild, but still has a nice tangy blue cheese flavor to it. We have about a pound of softened, unsalted butter. About 2 tablespoons of green onions. Use about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce.
Oh, okay.
Salt and black pepper to taste, and it really is depending upon
And just put it all in a big bowl and mix
you
it
can do it in a
together.
bowl with your hand, or if you have a KitchenAid or a mixer at home, it's much easier because you really need to work it through so you get all the flavors mixed
And when
in.
it's all mixed together, this is what it looks like.
That is exactly what it
So
looks
you
like.
said it, but a KitchenAid blender is easy to use.
KitchenAid on the paddle attachment, yes.
The
it'll use.
paddle attachment.
Yeah.
Okay,
You don't want
good.
to turn it too high or you'll have butter and blue cheese all over your kitchen. But
Okay.
I've done it before.
Okay. Yeah, I have too.
Yeah, so as we cook the mahi, excuse me, so we cook the mahi, we're just going to do a half turn or quarter turn just so you get the nice diamond marking on it. I usually cook my fish to medium.
Okay.
I find that it doesn't dry out the fish. As long as you get your fish from a reputable purveyor, grocery store, it's fresh. You really don't have to cook it all the way through.
It doesn't have to be well done.
No, not at all. We call it carryover cooking. So we'll cook this fish to medium, we'll pull it off, and it'll come off, and as it sits, it'll actually continue to cook.
Oh, for how long?
Usually about 2 to 3 minutes, depending on how hot your grill is.
So this is what the onions will look like in 20 minutes then.
It's about 20 minutes.
Okay.
These caramelized onions.
Okay.
And as you can see, if you don't stir them properly, they will start to caramelize on the pan and actually start to burn.
So you got to mix it constantly.
Constantly season it.
Okay. And then we're almost out of time. How do you prepare it?
We're going to plate it up right now. Nice bowl. Just about a quarter cup of your sweet onion confit on the plate.
Okay. That looks delicious.
This fish is just about to medium. Place this right on top. And all we do, I like using a little scoop because it seems to work a lot easier than trying to get it off a spoon.
And it looks pretty too.
Absolutely.
And that's how it's served.
Little green onions on top for garnish.
Well, thank you guys so much for having us. Delicious. Good.
Spicy with the blue cheese too.
Perfect. If you've never tried stargazing before, then clear your calendars on April 21st because the Museum of Natural Science is hosting Family Space Day out at the George Observatory. The free festivities start at 9:30 a.m. and they last till 3. Or you can stay on until nighttime and look through one of the largest public telescopes in the country. For more information, call 281-242-3055. And the Woodlands Waterway Arts Festival is going on all weekend, located throughout the waterway in the Woodlands. You'll find over 200 artists from around the country displaying their pieces of work. This is the second year. For more information, log on to woodlandsartfestival.com. And if you want to see some funk, check out the Society for Performing Arts this weekend at the Wortham Center, where DBR and The Mission will be performing. When you combine a little funk, rock, hip-hop, and classical music, you get an amazing show. For more information, call 713-227-4SPEA. And then finally, if you want to capture your kiddos in a sea of bluebonnets, you only have about 2 weeks left this year before they die up and reseed for next. For more information, log on to BrenhamTexas.com for all the details. Now, if you guys have not heard of The Secret, it is everywhere right now. And with me is the Reverend Howard Caesar. He's with Unity Church. Tell me what The Secret is. What is it?
The Secret is basically a principle that's been around a long, long time, and it's been kind of repackaged or rebirthed into the awareness of people in a very effective way. Its thoughts are things, thoughts held in mind, produce after their kind, where your attention goes, energy flows, that basically we're creating our reality and our experience and attracting to us different every aspect of our life. You know,
did this change you at all?
It did. You know, I've taught this for, Unity has taught this for over 100 years. But I was excited about the way that they were able to package it because it just takes you to another level of wanting to live it.
Now, do you think that this is going to people who haven't known The Secret? Do you think that this is going to teach them and that they're going to change their lives because of this?
I think so. I think to some extent everybody knows that really as a person thinks, so does their life go. You know, there's attitude and what you believe and what you have faith in. And so it's not something new, but it's just, again, giving you the power to make a difference in your life and actually in the world as well.
The church you guys do seminars and all kinds of stuff throughout the year.
Yes, we teach all along these lines all the time. We have lots of speakers coming in that are awesome individuals who are sharing the new sciences and quantum physics and as it aligns with spirituality and people being able to transform their world as well as being a part of transforming the world as a whole.
Well, you do a fantastic job with the church. I love the messages that you guys do. And do you have a website?
Yes, we do. unityhouston.org.
Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for filling us in on The Secret.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And don't go away, because up next, Jan Glenn shows us some earth-kind gardening tips, plus we're giving away dinner to Houston's hottest seafood restaurant. But first, here's this week's gym tip.
You've probably heard how important fitness is for young children. Well, here's a way you can make fitness a fun part of your day with your child. You don't need to have an exercise video or anything in particular. Any movement to music activity will do. The important thing is to just get up off the couch with your child and actually exercise together. Songs with simple choreographed instructions are not only beneficial for the physical aspect, but also they incorporate imagination and cognitive skills. The children are working on sequencing as they sequence the movements. And as a former school teacher, I can tell you how important that is. So plan to do creative movement activities with your child so that you both can benefit.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm sitting here with Jan and Lauren, and Jan's still reeling that we thought she was pregnant when really it's Lauren.